Okay?
I have two different subjects related to this one topic. When it comes to the Baltimore port, is the president or Democrat, or are you hearing from Democrats, particularly in this building, that there's a concern that Republicans aren't moving in an expeditious fashion?
Why?
Look, I can't speak to that right now. What I can speak to, what the president has been doing. He has said he's going to use a whole of government approach. You heard the Department of Transportation, you heard me at the top say that $60 million has been provided to get that bridge done. And look, we're going to do everything that we can to get the port open as soon as possible, obviously to build that bridge as soon as possible. The timeline, it's going to be complicated. It is a complicated scenario, so I don't have a timeline on that. Look, we're going to have conversations with congressional members. We're going to certainly talk to them on what else is needed. If there is additional funding, there is going to be additional funding needed to get this done. I'm not going to go into specifics at this time.
It's an odd thing to say.
Invited to the White House this week or next week to talk about this?
I don't have any schedule about any congressional conversations here happening at the White House, but I would say our Leg Affairs, White House Leg Affairs has regular communication with congressional members. Department of Transportation as well has regular communication with congressional members, and so that's going to continue. I just don't have a formal meeting to be happening here on this particular issue.
And the next subject that's related to this, after all of us, the world, watched how that cargo ship, that multi-hundred-ton barge, ran into the pillar, is there a concern about assessing bridges that deal with these kind of things around the nation? Has there been talk about that? Because this was, yes, it was catastrophic, but this government seems to be very reactionary. When something happens, it jumps on to try to fix it.
You can say that again.
I think it's a good thing. I think when something happens, the fact that this administration jumps on top of it and tries to make sure that we don't forget the communities, we assist, and we get communities put back together, right? The bridge is something that the people of Baltimore are feeling very acutely. And so we're going to certainly do everything that we can to get that bridge back up and to get the port open. Look, but as you're asking me about bridges and certainly infrastructure, no, but that's why the bipartisan infrastructure legislation was so important. Let's not forget that infrastructure law is now going to really deal with infrastructure in a generation. It is something that is an investment in our infrastructure, not just bridges. We're talking about tunnels, we're talking about roads, right? We're talking about broadband, right? These are incredibly important, and creating jobs, creating good paying union jobs. And so that is what the president has said he was going to do. The last administration turned it into a joke. It was infrastructure week every week, and he did absolutely nothing. And so this administration was able to get a bipartisan infrastructure law done. And so we are proud to have been able to do that. Obviously, it's going to speak to the bridges. It's going to speak to to roads and tunnels. And I think that's important that was able to get done within the president's first term.
You liar!